Hey,
Hi,
Shara.
James. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. You?
Not too bad, not too bad. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
I know
Good
your day
morning.
is winding down. I know it's very early where I am today in the US, so fun
Early.
times.
What? Are
It's
you West
7
Coast?
a.m. here. Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's 7 a.m.
Ooh, nasty.
If I, I know, right? If I sound a bit stuffy, that's why. But luckily you're going to be doing the majority of
No,
the
good. Yeah,
talking, so it
you
all
can sit
works
there and just
out.
hang out. It's fine.
Yeah,
I got
and,
this.
and feel the questions. How was your day off? Did you do anything fun?
I only had a half a day. Actually, it's because I'm having a
Oh,
new dining room and kitchen floor put in this
oh,
week. So on Monday I had to kind of do some cleaning up work and some housework to get ready for the workmen.
okay.
So it wasn't really an
Nice.
exciting time off. It was more work, but different type of work.
Nice. Okay. Well,
But the
that's
floor's going
always,
to look really nice. It's yeah.
yeah, that's always
Yeah.
fun. Cool. Good stuff. I do have a question.
Mm.
This is like not work related. In August, like how's the weather there? I'm sorry, the end of July, like how's the weather going to be there? Because
Yeah, it's
I'm
normally
going. Hmm.
I mean right now we had some warm weather, but right now it's gone back to being cool
Yeah.
here, but it's not I mean it's generally warm. It's not hot here at that time of year, but but you're looking at around I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but 22, 23.
Okay, so that's got to be like 70s,
Yeah,
like
and it
upper
can get hot.
70s Fahrenheit. Okay.
It just depends on there, but it's kind of yeah, that's standard, 22,
Okay.
23. It's
Okay.
nice.
Makes
It's nice.
sense. Yeah, I think that's bearable. That's doable. I feel like that's how Ireland is too.
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll see who joins. The call is
Yeah.
actually recording, so I'll edit I'll edit this part out. I don't want everybody to know that I'm in Vegas and you're getting a new floor and you're
Yeah.
remodeling, so it's not their business.
I mean, if they want to help, they can help pay for it. Things like that.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Alrighty, so it looks like we have about 11 people joining that have already
And
joined us.
it might be quiet because of July the 4th this week.
I was thinking that we had a lot of people that took off because of Independence Day.
Mm,
But we shall see. I mean, we will record it and it'll be in Sugar University and those that want to re-access it can and those that couldn't join, they can access it. So, all right, everyone. So we'll go ahead and we'll give it about 5 minutes, so five after. We'll go ahead and we'll get started with the presentation. James, I'm still working on the sugar market sample questions. We'll have to talk
yes.
about that offline, but there's just been something really wonky that's
Yeah.
been happening with one specific question. So I'll ping you later
No
and
props.
I'll tell you what's going on. I have a ticket open. It's been about a week and a half now, so we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I was confused how I got all questions correct, but still didn't get 100%. I was like,
Same,
mm.
same. Yeah, there's one question under the category events, and for some reason it's a true or false question. And for some reason, even if you get that one right, it's not recording.
Mm.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'll show you. I'll send you a screenshot and let's just kind of like forward you the back and forth from the case so that you can kind of see.
No props.
Yeah. I see
Thank
we
you.
have oh no problem. I see we have some sugar people on. Hi Lynn. Yeah. Let's give it one more minute, James.
Of course.
I think this might be it.
Lots of names of people that I have talked to before. So hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well.
Lots of familiar faces,
Yeah.
definitely. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'll go ahead and kick it off, James, and then I'll let you take it from there. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining another webinar for Sugar Market Academy. We're so glad to see you, especially those that are in the US. I know that you are gearing up for the Independence Day holiday. So we're glad that you still decided to join us. Today, we'll be discussing seeing sugar market data in CRM. James will be our lovely subject matter expert. I'm sure all of you have worked with him or are familiar with him because he heads up the enablement side of Sugar Market. So, James, I'll let you go ahead and take it away. And then just before we get started, if you do have questions, definitely feel free to type them in the chat, or I'm sorry, Q&A, rather, because this is a webinar. And we are recording this, so we will be adding this into Sugar University after. Okay, James, go ahead.
Thank you, Sharon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, and today's topic, as you can see already, is seeing sugar market data inside CRM. And we'll kind of keep the format, I guess, similar to how we've done it in other Academy sessions, as we know they've been amazing already. Is we're going to have a format of where we go through some slides on him, first of all, before we dive into the system. So I want to get some background, some setup before we actually go and look at the use case and how we can see that data. So here's the agenda. Introductions, I think we've kind of done them already. So Shara's done her introduction. Everybody, you can, well, not everybody, but most of you know me. I'm James Brown, Professional Services Manager. And I've actually been using the product for just over 14 years this year. So I've got a wealth of knowledge and background and use case and experience of using the platform. What I want to look at as well is why you need sugar market data in your CRM, how to set up the connection between the platforms, the data we're going to see inside CRM, some takeaways, and then additional resources as well. And as mentioned, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A as we go through. I'll try and answer them as we go. We've already done this part. We can move to the next slide. Go. So first of all, why do you need market data inside CRM? Because connecting the two platforms really, I would say, is a no-brainer. If you can. Obviously, sometimes you can't on there. But really, having the two platforms talking to each other is key. It's linking your marketing team to your sales team. It's linking your marketing efforts to your sales team so they can then see what leads to prospects and what leads to work on, first of all. So what we can do really is pushing data to your CRM. So this is allowing us to surface marketing data in the CRM for non-marketing team members, so they can see this data and use this data for their calls, for reporting, for whatever they need moving forward. Not every user that you have in CRM will also be a user in Sugar Market. So it's good to have that data pushed into CRM so they can see the data they need. So you're providing CRM users with lead or contacts marketing history. So have they been to the website? What emails have they received? Have they opened and clicked? Have they filled out any forms? Registered for any events? All this valuable data that can help them when it comes to calling up their lead, their contact, or talking to anybody, any record in CRM. Sugar Market can also update CRM fields based on marketing activities because of a lead score, because of a nurture flow. They've hit a certain step, they've done a certain activity. We can update a status or whatever it may be, whatever option you have on there, whatever avenue you go down, just means that you can use marketing data to push across and update records and fields inside CRM that may flag them to your sales team. We can push marketing activity into CRM modules. So not just for sales, it can also be used for visual and reporting purposes, pushing data directly into CRM, which then allows us to create dashboards and reports to present marketing data. So from all of that, I'd be thinking, well, why would we not push data to CRM? Why would we not link the two platforms together, as it's key for any business? So some of you, pretty majority of you already, have already set up your connection. But I want to go through, because some people on here may have not done this before, may understand the process. So I'm going to go through what it takes to actually set up the connection between the two platforms. So we are linking sugar to sugar. Well, in most cases, some of you may have a different CRM, but sugar to sugar, it is very simple to do. First thing you would need to do is install the Sugar Market bundle or package into CRM. And what this does is this adds the contact journey button. So this is the button the sales team can use on a lead or contact record to see the history of that record and what they've been doing. It would also then add modules for landing pages, events, web activities. So this means you can push data directly into CRM. And that's just from installing the bundle. The second part is adding user syncing credentials into Sugar Market so you can test the connection. And how Sugar Market connects, it connects using that syncing user. So you have a user in CRM, what it will do, it will use the user's credentials to connect to CRM to push and pull data. We do recommend that that user should be its dedicated user for the integration. I wouldn't just use any random person, as it can obviously, if you're logging in and doing day-to-day work, it can interfere with the integration or the connection. Once those two steps have been done, and then you let us know, and what we do then is we'll actually start the integration for you. We can switch on the sync, switch on the connection between the two platforms. You cannot do this yourself. It has to be done by somebody at Sugar. So don't worry, anytime you click save, data's not going to start pushing and pulling everywhere at that time. But there are some things to think about before pushing and pulling data between CRM and Sugar Market. Because what happens is when you click on the push and pull item options for your tables, we will sync everything with an ID, every man, woman, and dog with an ID on that table into Sugar Market. So best practice, we can connect the platforms on there, but we won't sync any data. What we say to do is to clean your CRM data first. Remove any dupes, delete any unwanted data you don't want in CRM. Just means that when we sync the data over, you're only getting clean data. Also, you may have records in CRM that are not marketable, that you don't want to have in the Sugar Market at all. So what we can do on there is set up sync filters and auto deletion reports. And what sync filters do is you set up a filter to say, well, what data do we want from CRM syncing over into Sugar Market? Because maybe, again, you may have 100,000 records in CRM, but only 50,000 are relevant for marketing, and we don't want to sync all 100,000 in. So what we can do is by using a sync filter, so it looks for fields and values on fields, we can say only pull through these records from CRM into Sugar Market. And also deletion reports, they work in tandem really with sync filters, saying any records that now meet this criteria, so this field, this value appears, delete them from Sugar Market. They shouldn't be in there because a record can sync over, the value can change on that record over time, and actually they shouldn't be there anymore. So the ADR, the auto deletion report, removes that record from Sugar Market. It should no longer be there. This is very important to think about this before you switch on the integration. Okay, so configuring the data sync. What data do we want to come over from CRM to Sugar Market? So this is where you configure your push and pull options, and I'll show you actually in the platform shortly where we go in and actually set these. But you can decide what data tables you want to pull in. Do we want to pull in leads? Do we want to pull in contacts, accounts, opportunities? Some customers don't even use leads, maybe don't use contacts, so we don't pull in leads at all. Do you want Sugar Market to be able to add and update existing records, existing leads and contacts? This is really important because, for example, if you've got a Sugar Market form on your website and you've decided you don't want Sugar Market to create new leads, or when they fill out that form, that lead's only going to stay in Sugar Market. It's not going to push to CRM. So you want to allow Sugar Market to be able to create those leads and push them through from your shop window, from your website, which is your shop window, in your form, all the way through to the back to the sales team so they get signed, and then the salesperson can then call the record, do whatever they need at that point to pick up the workflow. You can also decide what marketing assets do you want to push directly into CRM. So these could be emails, web activity, form submissions, event information, opens and clicks. Do you want to push all that information directly into CRM to enhance the data and allow you to create reports and dashboards based on that data push into CRM? And there's additional items you can push through as well, like delivery status on there, lead scores. We can create tasks as well. So there's other options you can push through. But again, down the bottom, you can see data management and integrity. I'll show you this section again inside Sugar Market, but this is for your sync filters on there. Recycle bin, we always recommend turning that on. That just means if you delete a record in CRM, it then deletes the record in Sugar Market as well. And again, auto deletion reports. All these things to think about before you switch on your integration, because you want to make sure that when the data comes into Sugar Market, it's ready for you to use, ready for your marketing team to have a go at, to use and create segments and targeted mailings for your email campaigns. If you're pulling in the wrong data, you're making it hard for the marketing team to do their work and actually target correctly. So next on here, Sugar Market data inside CRM. Let's take CRM data to the next level. So what can we do here? So first of all, inside a lead or contact record. And I think every salesperson should be using this. I don't know why they wouldn't on here. But easily and quickly, inside every lead and contact record, we will add the View in Sugar Market button. And that is the history, the marketing history of that record. So whenever any salesperson goes into any lead or contact, the first thing they should do is click on that button and say, okay, have they got any history? What have they been doing recently? Have they been on the website? What emails have they been clicking on? And then when they pick up the phone to make that call, they've already got some background information. They can actually tailor that call already around what that person's been doing and looking at. If they're not clicking that button, then really, we're not helping them in any way. They're not helping themselves in any way. It's simply one click. All they have to do, and I'll show you that shortly. Also in here, as well as that part for sales, we can push data directly into CRM. So again, update fields such as lead scores, unsubscribes on there, delivery status, last activity date, real good information that you can use for reporting. We can push through sent, opened, clicked emails into the email module. So again, we can create dashboards and reports based on sent emails, opened and clicked in there. And if a salesperson or anybody wants to go in and look at the email, they can do. They can see alongside any personal emails you've been sending from Outlook that you've been logging on the record in the email module. You'll also see marketing emails on there. So every email that record has received. In addition to that, we can push email statistics to the campaign log. So that means then not just emails and opens and clicks we're seeing, we can say, well, actually, okay, that email sent out, and we can see it had, 30 opens and 15 clicks as well. So the statistics are pushing into CRM. Form submissions. So this pushes to the landing page module, which I actually renamed. I renamed the module to form submissions. But what it does there is you can obviously see then if that lead or contact has filled out any form, we can see it logged on the record. We can create reports on that, and we can see the answers that they gave on that form as well. If you're running events, so online events, what this means is for the event registration attendance module in Sugar Market, we can push through that event to the events module. And again, we can see if that record registered for the event. Did they attend the event? And we can pull reports and statistics around registrations for that event as well, which means you could have sales team follow up on all the attendees. Direct from just reporting inside CRM. And finally, we have web activity we can push as well to the web activity module. So anytime a record, a lead or contact is cookied, known, they go to the website, they visit a few pages, we will log that on the web activity table so you can see exactly what that record or that person went and looked at on your website. All right, just having a drink, 1 second. I've had a little bit of a sore throat today. Okay. So next on here is we've got the data pushing into CRM, but reporting and dashboards. So when sugar market data is pushed into the CRM, the data is reportable as well. So again, through the report builder in CRM, you find the tables, the data you need, you can report on this information pushing through. And the reports you build can obviously be then used and leveraged inside a dashboard. And I'll be showing you this shortly in the platform, but reports built to show email engagements, form completions, event attendance, web activity, top lead scores, and much more on there. So again, if you're not pushing this data through, again, I can't get my head around if you're not on there, because you're pushing the data through, it's enhancing the data that you already have in CRM, and it's giving you more information that you can work on, that you can report on, that can help everybody inside CRM. The two systems are talking to each other. Okay, so I'm going to exit from here. We'll come back to the takeaway shortly, but I'm going to now, let's go have a look in the platforms themselves. So at the moment, I'm inside Sugar Market. This is a sandbox environment, so please, this is our test environment internally. So I do apologize for any data you see in here. It might not be exactly 100% correct. And you can see we aren't tracking a website because we have no website to track with this sandbox or test environment. What I want to see in here, first of all, is, okay, we're talking about setting up the connection. But where do I go in here? Well, top right-hand corner, if I go to admin and external connectors, you'll see down here, I'm going to go into the Sugar CRM, but based on your CRM, you could have dynamics in here, whatever it may be. We can still connect to those CRMs as well. But in the connector screen, the first thing we see, and the first thing we do with it, or we work on with every customer, is connecting the two platforms. You can see in here, this is our URL, the CRM, and our syncing user. So even when you test the connection and save connection information, this does not turn on the integration. The sync in here has to be done by Sugar, so don't worry. This is our additional sync settings. So in here, this is deciding, well, what data we're going to push and pull between the two platforms. Before checking these, though, don't forget you need to check your data's been cleaned, is ready, add sync filters, add auto deletion reports before checking any boxes on here. And I'll show you where sync filters are and auto deletion reports shortly. So on here, it's a test environment. We're pushing and pulling everything so we can play around with the data that comes in. We're allowing creation of new leads and contacts, updates as well, score fields and subscribe status. Everything pretty much is checked on here. But you don't have to. Some customers may have it down to just, let's say, just pulling accounts and pulling contacts. Everyone is different. Further down here, sync time sentence. I don't think you'll need to ever use that. I wouldn't worry too much. Database integrity. So this is where the recycle bin is. So we always want to make sure this is turned on to ensure that any deleted records in CRM are also deleted in Sugar Market. And then down here, you'll see post-sync cleanup reports. So these are auto deletion reports. These reports can be created inside Sugar Market through custom reports to pull out data or records that you do not want. So if they meet that criteria, we add the report into here. I have none that are available this time. But what it will do, there you go, I have one. We choose that report. If anybody ever appears on that report or meets that criteria, Sugar Market immediately deletes them. And then also up here, you'll see sync filtering. And this can be set, obviously, before we turn on the data push and pull on here. So if I want to say, actually, I'm going to restrict what leads we pull into Sugar Market, I can build a filter. I don't know, it could be if their account description or whatever field you have in CRM on the lead table. So I'm going to say their country, primary address country equals UK, we're going to put in anybody with UK. Anybody who's got a different country, we don't want to have in sugar market. And actually, when you build this filter in here, you can actually test the sync and run it, and it will tell you how many records it pulls over. So how many are we going to pull into the system when we switch it on? Remember, if you don't add a sync filter, it will literally take every record with an ID off the leads table or contact table or accounts table into sugar market. But that's the setup in here inside sugar market. You'll also see in here, there's the link to the documentation, but this is where you will get the bundle in here. And down here, you can see you'd download and install that into your CRM. It takes you through the steps for setting up your integration or the connection. You'll also see in here, if you're unsure of your push and pull options, down here, takes you through. You can see data to be pulled on here. If I click it again, it tells you exactly what all the options mean on here, so what they do, just in case you're unsure. Also in the documentation, you will see we have sync filter options. So if you're unsure about sync filters as well and how they work, setting up sync filters, testing. And really, this is all the documentation you'll need for the connection between sugar and sugar market on here. And this is also the same for any other CRM as well. All right, let's go and have a look inside CRM. So again, this is our sandbox environment on here, so please ignore. Some of the stats may not be correct. You'd expect more emails sent per month than 20 or 1, I'd hope, on here. But obviously, this is a test environment. But first of all, I want to show you the easy part, the part for your sales team. So if I go to leads, again, we've got Paul Rudd, Jimi Hendrix in here, and Tom Hanks, definitely a test environment on here. But I'm just going to go into a record. So I'm in this lead here. First of all, I've got a timeline down the right-hand side. But the main thing for a salesperson, so I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to call Viri. I'm in my lead record here, and I go, okay, before I do, I just want to see what Viri's been doing. So I click on View in Sugar Market. For a salesperson, they can quickly see, okay, well, recently we sent this email, they opened. I can switch this to show me everything. I'll switch the date. So if I go back even further, start of the year, and apply. Okay, it's open, sent emails. What email is this one? Click on here. Okay, so that's the email that was received. So I can actually see inside CRM, the salesperson can see the email that was sent to Viri. Further down here, I can see the link that she clicked. And if I go back any further and get any form submissions, hold on. Hopefully, we'll find out. No, we don't have any on here. But you can see the user can actually switch between, well, I don't want to see just sent emails. I want to see opens and clicks, or web activity, or event registrations, form submissions. Whatever it may be on that record. And it was just one click. That's all the salesperson had to do to get all this information. And then go, okay, well, I know recently Viri received this email. She opened and she's already looked at it. She clicked on the link. So I'm going to ask her about that email. How did she enjoy the content on there? Were you interested in any of the product information we sent out? And it just helps the salesperson get the foot in the door immediately with that record. I can also in here, so that's the journey, but I can see any lists that Viri is on. If I'm on the phone, Viri said, yeah, I'm interested in this product in the future, but not right now, but I'd like to receive some emails around it. What I could do here is just say, okay, the salesperson could manually add Viri to one of these lists. So if you've got a relevant list that's relevant for a product or service you provide, the salesperson could add Viri to that list. So next time you send an email out, she'll be on the list. Any nurtures the records received, again, published. Stage nurtures on here. And maybe you've got a post-sales call nurture campaign. So after every call or to any good calls, bad calls, whatever it may be on the salesperson can click add to nurture. They choose the relevant nurture campaign. And again, not all these have to be shown. You can just show relevant ones to CRM. Or maybe it was this one. I choose the steps. They start there and I click add. And the salesperson can manually add the record directly into a nurture campaign from CRM. You can also see that if they were in a nurture, you can remove them as well. So if somebody complains that they're receiving too many emails from this, so it's not relevant anymore, you can remove and it will stop them from receiving any more emails. Scoring summary is just a breakdown how they got their lead score. And then you've got send email, which I think is okay, but sometimes you can, this is sending like a marketing email, I guess. So you can build templates in Sugar Market, which allows the salesperson to send a one-to-one email in here from address, domain. They can BCC themselves, we recommend, because it will send from Sugar Market, and they can choose a template. Insert template, pulls it in. There we go. Okay. And this is a template you're sharing with salesmen to use, and you'll send it out one-to-one email. It's a HTML email. It'll send directly to Vivi from whichever address you put in here. BCC yourself on here, so you would receive a copy. The salesperson would receive a copy as well. But this email would also be logged on the journey and we'll track it for opens and clicks. But again, some of these features can be removed if you don't want them to be in here. We don't have to have all these features in the contact journey. But that's the easy part. That's a great tool for sales to use. If they're not clicking on that, then yeah, got to help them with this connection and what we're doing here. But that should help them with their everyday calls to their leads and contacts. But that's just part of it in here. We can go even deeper. So further down in here, we're pushing in data directly as well to the record. So again, all those emails are now also here, directly in the emails module on Vivi's record. I can see campaign activity, so I can see the campaign logs. In other words, this is opens and clicks on here. If I can find any clicks, I'll try. There we go. The URLs in here that they clicked on. So if it's in here, this is directly in CRM, this is all reportable. We can see that Vivi went to a dog daycare day down here in 2022. Do I want to see the answers that she gave? There we go. All on here. Here's the answers. Any events on here? So I click on the eye icon again. I can see that Tesco to webinar, Vivi registered and attended that back in 2023. There is no web activity because, as I mentioned, we haven't got our sandbox linked up to a website, so web activity is not pulling in. But that's where it would show web activity. If somebody went to your homepage, viewed some products, it would log into the web activity module. And this is working for leads and contacts. I can try and find another one for you. So I'll go to contacts. Let's have a look. Me? We'll try me. I have no idea what's on here. Okay. I've got lots of form submissions, events on here, registered and attended. Again, all the same information coming through. There we go, web hits, form submissions. So this is what the salesperson can see. It's easier for them to click on that button and see this. Oh, okay. I can see James submitted this form. He put down this information on the form as well. Went to the website, page visit on here, webinar, and so on. I clicked on a PDF. All that information right there on hand. So what I have next on here, we've got all this data. You'll see on here, if I go back to home, I built a Sugar Market dashboard from all that data coming in. So directly in CRM now, I can see how many emails we sent per month, opens per month, clicks per month on here, form submissions, event registrations, event attendees, and even some lead score information. So lead scores are pushing in. So these are my leads over here, and it's all time. Top leads with score over 50. So, okay, I see in February we had a lot of email, a lot of interaction at times. So let's have a look on him. These are all the emails that were sent out. Hopefully you'd have a lot more, hundreds, maybe thousands on him. They're all sent, but if I want to see, well, who was this sent to, I can scroll across. You can see the lead or contact over here. And again, we've got a focus drawer if you wanted to, focus dashboard. And I can again see which record it is. So it's a contact, it's Brie. Okay, so who are my opens? I had 7. Here are the 7 opens. I can see who they're related to. And again, I can click on the focus dashboard. It shows me the same thing. So is it a lead? Is it a contact? You can see, there you go. It is here. Same for clicks. So back in February, who are my 5 clicks? Here they are. Related record. And again, focus drawer. Form submissions. So I had 8 back in February. What's going on here? So this is where I was doing some test content. Very busy back in February with this. But you'll see on here, here's my submissions. Okay. Now it doesn't show me who on here, but if I click again on the focus drawer, if I go here. Okay. James on here. It's contact record. If I want to go in and see the record, I can click on here as well. More record information. That's all my form submissions. Again on here, it was in April. Got a Sugar You webinar. Who was this on here? Brie, there we go. And the answers that she gave on the form. She obviously likes baby animals in spring. But then what I've got listed in here, so maybe we've got a nice report here, but listed, I've got all my form submissions and who submitted for the past 100. This could be short, it could be last 30 days, depends on how many forms you have, but they're just listed in here. You can see all of them. And you could build this dashboard to say, well, actually, for this salesperson, it only shows their record. This is showing everybody. So who owns the record? You see on the right-hand side. This is the owner. So the salesperson. You can say, well, actually filter this to show only my leads, my contacts who have filled out forms. Or my records that have received emails or clicked or opened. This is just showing everybody, but you could get that granular. Same with events on here. We go. So I can see all the, okay, I've got attended and registered. So these are the 7 registrations. Who was this on here? Here again on here. She's registered but never attended. Okay, if I go to the attendance on here, so I had 3 attendees. Who were they? Me. I attended. I did actually attend. So yes, I registered and attended for that event. And over here again, I've listed out all the attendees, and it could be over a time period again, because this may be, all my leads that have attended events within the past 3 months. And I can see a list of them in here. So if I'm short on leads, I can just go in, have a look, take a look and say, actually, I'm going to go and close person, see how they was at that event. Or you're running an event this past week, that list will fill up with more people that they can work on. And then finally down here, these are my leads. So I can, a pie chart of we have thresholds in lead scoring of kind of cold, warm, and hot. So all of mine are in warm for some reason. But what I go in here and click on and say, well, who are my warm leads? Here they all are. And again, I click on a focus drawer and go in, see more information. I've even got the timeline, what's been happening to the record. Let's take Puri. She's always got good information on there. So yeah, sent emails, landing page, asset download. And that's just from the pie chart. But what I can also do is this is all hot leads with a score of 50. So you can see on here, these are all of our hot leads listed. And again, this could be per salesperson. I've got everybody in here. You can see the owners down here on the right-hand side. But that's just a long list. And again, that's feeding data in from Trigger Market into CRM to help the sales team. And we're using that data that's pushing in to build these amazing and wonderful dashboards. All right. So that is pretty much everything on pushing data into CRM from Sugar Market, on how you can create reports on here. I mean, actually, I'll show you a report first. Let me go into a report before I move on, just so you can see it yourself. So email sends per month, like edit on him. So you can see I'm looking at the emails module on here. I'm looking for which emails are coming through in a certain number of days, so 6 months. Do my summaries of count and date sent. Got the subject line it's showing in each of the emails, so I can see that coming through in display columns. It's a bar chart, and I can just save and run. There it is. And if I go back to reports, let me try just Sugar Market. There we go. You can see all these reports I've created. Now, again, I've just added these as dashlets into my dashboard. All right. So back to the presentation on here. Hopefully you got some good insights from looking in the system. You probably didn't realize that you could actually do that much with the data in there. Hopefully you've learned a little bit today from that, because we do have a lot of data and a lot of information we can push through and you can use inside CRM, and especially to help your sales team. So our takeaways: Sugar Market and CRM together is powerful. And that should be an exclamation mark, not a full stop. Having them working and talking together, as I've just shown you on here, is key to just help your marketing and sales teams out. Leads and contacts marketing activity is available with one click. So easy to see. We're not asking your sales team to do much more. There was like, more tools to use, more things to do. I just want to sell. We want them to sell. We want to make it easier for them to sell. And all we're saying is just click on that one button. We can provide sales with their active leads and information around what they're doing. We can push data into CRM to allow for more in-depth reporting, as we've just seen on those dashboards. And obviously, connecting two systems together brings your marketing and sales team close together. It all just makes sense. Does to me anyway. I don't know about you guys, it does to me. I can't speak for everybody. Finally, on the slides in here, we have some additional resources to help you. So you can see on here, we've got a Sugar Market Connection Guide, Sugar Club and Sugar U. But if you have any questions around what we've discussed today, please talk to your Sugar Market consultant if you have one assigned, if you have a services contract with us, your account manager or CSM for help, or your partner. We can help you out, okay? Because we want to make sure that the two systems are working in tandem together and you're getting the most from Sugar Market and Sugar CRM. And that is everything, Shara, on there. Next is questions.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much for that, James. So I actually have two questions. If I'm a customer and I would like to integrate Market with my CRM, what would be the steps for me to do that as a customer? Because I know we can't, our customers can't do this by themselves.
Yeah, so if you have a services contract with us already on there, what can happen then is you would then reach out to your dedicated consultant on there. Could be a Sugar Care contract that you may have, could be a Sugar Market only contract. And what will happen then is your dedicated consultant will help walk you through the steps. We'll sit with you on a call, help you install the bundle into your CRM, and help connect the two platforms as well. If you don't have a services contract, it's probably best to talk to your CSM, your client success manager at that time, and we can help you with this and get you connected with the people you need to make sure that we can connect your CRM with Sugar Market.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for explaining that, James. And then one last question. I know we talked about why it's such a great thing to be able to connect Market with CRM. Are there any specific instances or reasons why a customer would not want to connect CRM with Market?
Yeah, sometimes we do have customers that use Sugarmark as a standalone. Sometimes on there, I mean, if you have a CRM, we can connect to that CRM. I would 100% say yes, do that on that side because we can put the data in there. But sometimes customers may use it as a standalone, maybe because their CRM is not stood up yet, is not being used, is not ready at that time. So Market is used as standalone. It still means you can send emails, you can get reporting from there. It may just be manual at the start. And Market does also have a very basic database or CRM that can be used. But again, it's nothing like pushing the data into Sugar CRM. But that may be the use case that maybe you don't have a CRM in place at this time that we can push the data through to. So you can just use Sugarmark as a standalone. It doesn't have to be connected or integrated with a CRM.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for that, James. And then let's check Q&A. Are there any questions?
I don't see any. Everyone's gone quiet.
No,
Try.
it's quiet group.
They're already on July the 4th holidays.
I know. Mentally on vacation. Okay. Well, if we don't have questions, we'll go ahead and give you 17 minutes back. Everyone enjoy the holiday if you're in the US, and everyone else have a great week and a great weekend.
Oh, 1 second, there's a question come through.
Oh, not so fast. Let's see.
Mention an issue with the training not showing completed. So,
Oh, no, sorry. This was pertaining to, go ahead, James. I'll let you take that.
I'm not sure the question. You mentioned issue with the training
I
not showing completed.
Yes, I think that was what we were talking about earlier.
At the start, yeah. That's to do with the exam. Yep, sample exam.
Yes. So we have a set of sample questions. I'll just go ahead and put it out there. So James and team actually created a set of sample questions. If you've taken the Sugar administrator exam, you know that there are sample questions. And so we sort of mirrored that for Sugar Market. And basically, I believe there's a total of 15 questions, and right now there's a bug. We're working through it. So if you go through the sample questions for Sugar Market and you answer all of them correct, for some reason the highest you can get is a 93%.
Yeah.
Don't be alarmed. They're sample questions, so they won't necessarily go toward anything. It's just more so to test your knowledge before taking the full exam. And so that's basically it. Elizabeth said, sorry, I'm going through the Sugar Market Specialist Certification Learning Path, and one of the modules said not completed, even though I went through it. I'll try again. Okay, Elizabeth, can you do me a favor? Can you email the course? It may be that we've archived it, and you can still see it. Not sure why I would say that it's not completed, but if you can, if you can email me, it's my first name dot my last name at sugarcrm.com, and then I can go in and check your user profile and settings. No problem. Alrighty. Does anyone have any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right, everyone. So this recording will be in Sugar CRM for you to listen to. If you do have any additional questions after the session, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either James or myself. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and conclude this session.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a great day. Bye.
Take care.
Thanks.